Well, good evening, friends. Good evening. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I want to just, in addition to thanking Mandy Remmel and our amazing staff, both here in the district and Washington, many of whom are in the audience with you, I want to thank Towson University for being our gracious hosts tonight, lending their space, their staff, and their technology. I want to give a special thanks to two of my dear friends, our Attorney General, Anthony Brown, and our Comptroller, Brooke Lierman. You both have been incredible partners. And as we are responding to what is truly unprecedented, I'm so fortunate to have them in this work. I was remarking to myself as I was coming in, during my time as a member of the General Assembly and as county executive, I never really paid that much attention. I was interested in what was happening at the federal government. But this is really an all-hands-on-deck moment where what's happening in the Congress and with this administration is affecting us in our homes and in our communities more than ever before. And so it's so important to have Anthony and Brooke leading the fight in Maryland along with me at the national level, our state legislators, and our local leaders. I think your presence here speaks volume to what we are facing. We know that so many of you are also watching on our live stream, but what your presence tells me is that, and what I've heard overwhelmingly from constituents is that people are concerned, people are angry, people are frustrated, people are seeking answers. And while I may not have all of them tonight, I want you to leave this place feeling heard and feeling that the fight that we are all leading together, that we are in this with you. And so I come to this conversation with you just grateful for your interest and for your willingness to participate in what's in front of us. President Trump and some ultra-conservatives in Congress spent the last year promising to lower costs for Americans. And they said they would do so on day one. On day one, prices will come down. Well, as you can see, if you look across the stage, I've been tracking the inaction on lowering costs in the United States Congress. And this is on my social media feed each and every day. And we started in our office as a joke, like how long before we actually do something to put money back in the pockets of hardworking Americans? And so we started, 15 days, 32 days, 67 days, 81 days. Today is 97 days without a single vote to lower the cost of groceries, without a vote to lower the cost of gas, without a vote to lower your electricity bills, without a vote to help with child care or housing. Instead of lowering costs are going up. We've seen that with the reckless on-again, off-again tariffs that are now currently paused, but just as easily could be put back on. Taxes that could cost Americans, on average, $3,800 more a year. That would be the largest single peacetime tax increase in this nation's history. A large coffee at Dunkin' would cost you $330. A new pair of kids' sneakers, $150. The average grocery bill, over $500 a month. A new iPhone could cost as much as $2,300. And God forbid your family need a new car or any home renovations if these tariffs/taxes are enacted. And so not only are we not lowering costs, not only are we driving up costs, but we see members of Congress and an administration that is hell-bent on taking away a critical safety net for people who have given their lives to this country, like our veterans. Some of our most vulnerable, like our children who are just hungry and want to be fed, and to seniors who rely on health care programs. For the 29,000 people in Maryland's 2nd District who get their health insurance on the Affordable Care Act, the Republican budget proposal that just passed earlier today will increase premiums by as much as $2,340 per year. Now that's on top of the tariffs, taxes that we just talked about. Some premiums could go up even more. And if you're lucky enough to still have health care and pay that, know that there are 152,000 people in Maryland's 2nd District on Medicaid that are at risk of completely losing their health coverage. There are 49,000 people in our district who rely on food to feed their families. My colleagues are set to even increase bank overdraft fees this week. I mean, it's everything from the mundane to the really meaningful. And so, as we're doing all of that, and as we pass now a budget resolution that's set to balloon our deficit by trillions of dollars, you have to ask, why are we doing this? Well, if this budget resolution is enacted fully, it's because we're passing tax benefits to the ultra wealthy. This budget would borrow trillions of dollars for a tax cut worth $314,000 annually for the top 0.1%, and for anywhere between $32,000 and $60,000 per year for those in the top 1% of earners in this country. For the average family here in Maryland, in this country, we're talking hundreds of dollars. Now, I don't know about you, but I would just as much not have the $3,000 tariff increase, not have my health care and my food support slashed in exchange for giving billionaires more money. It's not what America voted for. It's not what I believe a stronger future for us is, but I believe that our future is worth fighting for. And so I'm here to say with you, I'm here to fight alongside Brooke and Anthony and each of you so that people come first, so that Marylanders aren't asked to foot the bill of this extreme administration. And this strategy has to be an all of the above approach for us to win. That's why we're fighting in the Congress, that's why we're fighting in the courts, and it's why we're fighting in the community. And we are starting to win. We've already seen success in the courts, especially when it comes to the illegal firing of hardworking federal employees, including many of our neighbors. I know our Attorney General can talk to us about Maryland's efforts in this space. In 10 weeks, there have been 160 different lawsuits filed by Americans across the country directly challenging some of these orders. As of last week, federal judges had issued at least 57 court orders that block or pause the administration's efforts. And Brooke, I'll let you share the good news that you found on our way out here tonight. In Congress, we're calling out the House and the Senate's reckless agenda wherever we can. I signed on the legislation to force a vote that would terminate this national emergency that allows the president to unilaterally enact these tariffs. Just today, I dropped my first piece of legislation. This is breaking news for those of you who are here covering tonight, to protect federal employees in this administration from DOGE and from all future administrations from wrongful termination. Specifically, this will protect employees who were on probationary status because they were promoted, because they were really good at their jobs. I had a woman who joined me as my special guest to the President's Joint Address to Congress, and she was hired under the first Trump administration. She did such a great job helping Maryland farmers that she was promoted. And because she was promoted, she was probationary. And Elon Musk and DOGE and President Trump thought that because you're probationary, you're expendable. Well, I think in America, no one is expendable. But I want to be clear about our limitations. We are down 3 votes to stop any of these actions in the House of Representatives. We need 3 more people to step up and say what's happening is wrong, and we need 4 votes in the Senate, which is why we're fighting in the courts, which is why I'm calling on the amicus briefs supporting these efforts in the courts. And it's also why I am so present with you and with my partners in the community, because we need to feel the heat in Congress to turn this ship around. Yeah. So, unlike my colleagues who are hiding from their constituents, I relish the opportunity to be with you and to hear from you. This is now my 7th town hall or community meeting since I was sworn in January. I was proud to stand with you at rallies, including 2 this past weekend, one in Baltimore, one in Kingsville. Because that is what real democracy is about. This is what real democracy looks like. And so I know a thing or two about how government's supposed to work. I used to teach kids about U.S. government in our public schools. I talked about checks and balances and rule of law and transparency. And I can tell you, this ain't it, guys. This ain't it. And don't get me wrong, I welcome efficiency. When I was executive, we have over 1,000 pages of both for Baltimore County government and our school system, how we can be more efficient. We're saving millions of dollars by talking to and partnering with our employees. Efficiency isn't a scary word, but DOGE should scare the hell out of you. Because, look, we can balance budgets without cutting services. We can make historic investments in public education, workforce, and infrastructure without firing our employees, without asking working families to pay more. We did it. It's doable. So if Donald Trump and Elon Musk want to learn about efficiency without harming everyday Americans, my door is open, guys.